Hi guys, and welcome back to CubCamTV. Just before we jump into this video, I do want to give you a quick warning that this is a video we have had to cut down. Every now and then when we upload videos to the channel, they do get blocked for copyright issues, and I want to make sure we're still able to deliver the content. So I'm just letting you know in advance, there will be a lot of cuts, edits, and pauses during this video, just to make sure we're able to get it up online. I have tried uploading it a couple of times, and with a couple of different edits, and this is the edit that actually worked to get it online. So hopefully you guys can still enjoy the technical analysis and musical breakdown that we do here on CubCamTV. Without further ado then, on with the video. What's happening, people, and once again, welcome back to youtube.com/CubCamTV for this, another edition of CubReacts Requested. A massive shout out to each and every one of you getting involved in the channel. We've literally just hit 22,000 subscribers. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you to each and every one of you who is getting involved. The journey has been so enjoyable, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you're hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page as we continue on our route to 25k. Today, then, for Requested, we are going to be getting into a track which has been very heavily asked for on the channel, and it's an artist that is very regularly asked for on the channel as well. The sounds of Alikiba with Oya Oya. Now, I'm looking forward to jumping into this one. I haven't heard the tune before, so I don't know how it's going to sound, but I am very excited to jump into it. So we're going to do that without any further ado. Yeah, let's see where we go. I mean, right from the jump on this, it's such a... Again, I'm going to say it's a very unique sounding tune. I'm sure there are literally hundreds and thousands of tunes out there that sound like this. For me, listening to it from, obviously, what I've listened to before, it sounds super unique. I'm loving the kind of switch-ups of the rhythms. I'm loving the syncopation of the percussion. I'm loving just how much energy that kind of shuffling, kind of stuttered approach to the drums is giving the tune. Again, hearing Alikiba's kind of vocals floating around with those electronic edges around the top of the tune as well. It's sounding great. And again, this transition into this sort of pre-breakdown bridge after a very kind of, again, stuttered and kind of jittery introduction. It works really, really nicely. I'm looking forward to seeing where this one goes. How can you not have a smile on your face listening to this? See? I can understand why there are so many people on the channel who want me to react to more Alikiba, man. It puts me in a good mood for the rest of the day. We recently did a reaction to Utu, which went up quite recently on the channel, and it was, the reaction to that video in general was crazy. You guys just seem to love Alikiba, and I can understand why. The guy has such a naturally pleasing presence about the way he performs. His vocal tones, the kind of inflections he uses, again, there's a bit of a language barrier for me, but I'm still getting this very kind of enjoyable message. I'm still getting this feeling of goodness coming from the tune. Again, the vocals are great. The bass lines underneath, that sort of that that's kind of following the same rhythm as the drums. Again, the same with the guitar lines, literally just kind of arpeggiating up and down the frequency spectrum, and the notation sounds great. It's just got a great vibe about it. That's the best way to put it. Again, it sounds almost a little bit simple for a lot of the way that we describe tunes on this channel, but I just feel good listening to it, and that's the best way I can describe it. Even the little uses of the auto-tune that we're hearing on the vocal, I've got to say, it's not overbearing. It does the job. It gives the tune an extra kind of bit of colour. It gives it a bit of kind of sonic texture. And I often say this on this channel about auto-tune. If you use auto-tune in a creative way, the things you can actually do with it and the kind of additions you can bring to the kind of harmonics and the general structuring of tracks, I always find it really interesting to listen to. I actually think that if you were to take the auto-tune away from this tune, you wouldn't take away from Alikiba's vocal, but you'd take away from the overall feel of the tune. There's something warm about the electronic style vocal on this one. Again, the video looks great as well. Everyone's enjoying themselves. There's dances going on. It's a tune that makes you feel happy. It's a tune that puts you into a good mood, and that's what I love to hear. There's definitely going to be a name for rhythm that I don't know. It's a combination of like two different lines. Like you've got the kind of almost of the kind of lead drums, but then underneath you've got this kind of it's tripleted underneath that gives the whole thing this really nice kind of natural shuffle. But then you've got elements that you would hear drum wise on even like an Amapiano tune, which is by definition quite flat in a 4/4 sort of rhythm. So the way they all kind of combine together, it makes you unable to sit still. There are so many different kind of rhythmic signals being sent by the tune. You can't help but throw yourself around when you're listening to it, and it sounds like a tune I'd love to hear out. I'd love to see just the kind of happiness this would inspire on a dance floor more than anything else, because it's definitely got that kind of vibe to it. Again, you can see in the video that it's all smiles, it's all happy people. It's the routines are great as well. Just the fact that it's almost like a group party scene, which I really, really like to see. It works really well. The video looks great. The tune sounds fantastic as well. I'm loving this. That bass line is gorgeous underneath as well. And again, those backing vocals, again, coming in, keeping the tune alive. I feel the only issue I have with this one at the moment is that it hasn't kind of gone away from the original theme. Like, it hasn't kind of journeyed anywhere. We've had the same sort of sound for around 2.5 minutes. And that's fine, because sometimes you don't need to go to 1,000 places, but I feel just adding those backing vocals in that we've just heard kind of creeping in there are going to give it an extra lease of life. Again, the bass line underneath is fantastic. It's quite intense. It's quite, again, quite digital sounding, just with that, again, ascending and descending all the time. The tune's almost like kind of going up and down a hill on a skateboard. That's kind of how it feels with the melodies. We're hearing it with the guitars as well. Literally just kind of going like with the guitar plucks on there. It's a really cool kind of combination of different things. It feels almost like it's like patterns within patterns. It feels like we're seeing like loads of different things happening, all overlapping with each other, but still working. Like, it's a cool kind of union of sonic expression. Nice, and the guitar line's getting a bit more higher pitched as it goes as well. Even that, the stuttered sense of rhythm we're getting from this section here, it sounds fantastic, man, honestly. There's something about Alikiba's vocal over rhythms he wouldn't necessarily... I wouldn't describe any tune that I've heard from Alikiba as a typical tune. I'd always say there's something a little bit different about them. There's always something unique energy-wise and unique rhythmically about them as well. They're never tunes you can sit still to. And that's something I would say very definitively, something that describes an Alikiba tune quite well, is the fact that you just can't sit still to them ever. And I think this is another great example of that, man. Really loving the arrangement. I'm loving the video as well. Constantly moving between different dance routines as well. And I think the guy's an entertainer more than anything else, man. We'll let this one run through to the end and then give our final breakdown. Well, there we go then, people. The sounds of Oya Oya Alikiba. This one off the Only One King album project. And that's the end of the video. Fantastic stuff. Really enjoyed this one. A massive shout out to each and every one of you sending over your requests. This being one of them. I always try to stay up to date with what Alikiba's doing. Genuinely, such an enjoyable performer to listen to. Such a kind of cool vocal presence as well. Understanding what his vocal can do and kind of making the most out of his vocal range as well, which I really like to hear. The instrumentation on this is great. The kind of ascending and descending nature of the kind of guitars and the bass line, giving it this very kind of bob and weave kind of groove to it, which works really nicely. And overall, really, really big fan of this one. The video looks great as well, as always, which is good to see. So, if you did enjoy this technical analysis and musical breakdown and reaction, shall we call it? I don't even know if these are reactions anymore. But anyway, if you did enjoy it, please make sure you are hitting that subscribe button on the right-hand side of the page, turning notifications on, leaving a like, leaving a comment, all of that good stuff, and we shall see you all next time. Peace.
Sounding so good right now. But they're sounding a bright and town.
Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel right now, CubCamTV. Stay locked.